everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Browns going up against the Colts. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them along.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And I think he was able to get back on it. He was. So they will get the ball after all, but that could have been a disaster. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. DeShone Kizer, the former Notre Dame man, will lead his troops onto the field.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. John Simon able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
Tight end David Njoku was part of the Browns draft day haul. He was the third first-round pick that they had, number 29 overall, and he averaged more than 11 yards after the catch in 2016 at Miami. That's what you're looking for in an elite tight end.
On third down, Kizer. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trust me, Brandon, I'm not about to try and take your job. I can't do what you do. But that wasn't just 3 and out. That felt like 3 and backwards.
That's exactly what it was. You can have my job whenever you want it. The drive that you're looking for, though, probably going forward. Bad start to the ball game.
Yeah, not the way to get things going.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now Sanders. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 6th season out of Stanford. Here's Andrew Luck.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
7 yards to go on 2nd down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Luck. And this is incomplete. Kamar Aiken, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
When you look at Cleveland's defense in 2016, it's pretty easy to isolate where their problems began. 31st in the league against the run. They finished 31st overall in total defense as well. So you have to start with them shutting down teams running the football to give themselves a chance to make some plays in the passing game.
Throwing on third down, Luck. To the right side to Aiken. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Had a game with Baltimore a couple of seasons ago, and Kamar Aiken caught my eye in that one. Turned out he nearly had 1,000 yards that season, but last year a little bit of a slump. Really down, 29 catches, just over 300 yards, only 1 touchdown, so they're hoping to boost his production here in Indianapolis. He can be a strong, physical, inside type of a pass catcher if they can get him going.
Here's Luck. And an alley to run. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Play clock winding down. Now it's Luck. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now we're carrying from Mack. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards. Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down. Throwing his Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Kirksey. From that outside linebacker spot, he's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter. And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it. They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Luck. The strong running. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Career highs in receptions, carries, and total yards last year for Crowell. His total yardage was 952. That was the highest by a Cleveland Brown running back since 2010. And
that sounds impressive, but I think there's much more out there for him. If Cleveland plays even with people, not from behind, he'll get more carries, more touches, and his yardage will go up.
The intended target was Corey Coleman. And now it's 2nd down. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
When you look back at the 2016 season on defense for the Indianapolis Colts, when you look at the raw numbers, you're not impressed. 30th overall in total defense. So what they're trying to improve upon is playmakers. They've got to have some guys who can offset those types of numbers with making big plays and taking the ball away from the opposition.
Throwing throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Kaiser from the gun on 3rd. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. A run by Mack to start the drive. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
From the gun, here's Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th. The Colts send out their punter, standing just outside his own goal line. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Crowell. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38!
They'll run it again with Crowell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
But we know one thing. Isaiah Crowell can run if given an opportunity. Had the longest run in the NFL in 2016, an 85-yard touchdown sprint, week 2 against Baltimore.
This one not quite as long, didn't end in 6, but still a great game. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Here we go! Now a handoff
to Crowell. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Play action now, Kaiser. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They find some open field here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. And the play clock's running down. To throw is Locke. This one brought in by Aiken. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
And Andrew Luck's had a shoulder injury that's lingered since 2015. His throwing arm had a little surgery after the 2016 season. Looks like he's got his zip back.
Yeah, you're right. Some heat on that one to pick up the Colts 1st. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run with Mack. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Time running out here on the play clock. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
So a big 3rd down hook up here will take us to the break. Can't wait to see what the 2nd quarter has in store. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Going deep for Moncrief. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
2nd and 10, Luck again. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's Mack. A beautiful fake. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
staying on the ground with Mack. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now Mack. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
On the return, Jabril Peppers. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often, a rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals.
On 1st and 10, Kaiser. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Kaiser now on 2nd down. His throw incomplete. That time they were looking for the former Auburn Tiger, Ricardo Lewis. And that'll make it 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
From the gun, Kaiser. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Crowell. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through it, right near the 39. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. Over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
And to give this time to the tailback. Able to evade the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside the 5. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, these guys are worth their weight in gold.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
We always look for breakout seasons, and Jack Doyle had one in 2016. 59 catches. What? He didn't even have that in the previous 3 seasons.
No, previous 3, 35 combined. But he was stuck behind Kobe Fleener for a while. He went to New Orleans, really opened things up, didn't he?
Yeah, Dwayne Allen's been shipped off to New England, so Jack Doyle, truly tight end 1.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short game. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
On the run, it's Robert Turbin. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Love. And he finds his man, Kamar Aiken. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Open space inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Andrew Luck, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
Now, that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
That's Njoku over the middle. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. He finds Coleman. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now Kaiser to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. To the air again, Kaiser. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They'll throw again. Kaiser. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Kaiser. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, Kaiser. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? To be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On first down, it's locked. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And that's where this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Colts are happy to be sitting in the locker room with a lead. The Browns didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's roll the highlight.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Around the NFL, second quarter in Chicago. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just...
Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Following the interception, Kaiser. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
David Njoku, nearly 17 yards a catch in college. Those are wide receiver numbers.
Yeah, went to Miami. Brad Kaya was his quarterback. They were a really good combo. Also, how about the wingspan of the young rookie? 35.25-inch arms.
Quarterbacks love that. That catch radius, huge. And what he does after the catch, really impressive.
First down carry now for Crowell. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Coleman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Second down, Johnson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given a little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Here's Kaiser. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Play clock winding down. Here's Luck. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Luck finding his emerging tight end Doyle for a Colt first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And they'll run it here. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing is Luck. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage, where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys. Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go. 1, 9, 10.
To throw is Kaiser. He's got his tight end in Njoku. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Kaiser now from the 50. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. On play action, Kaiser. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
False start, offense.
Had some momentum going, driving down the field. That'll set him back 1st and 15.
I mean, that type of play, when you've got to go in your direction. Shoot, my man Old Mo is arching an eyebrow at him right now. You've got me going. Keep me going.
This is Crowell. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That defensive front four has been very good. They've just not let the running game get going, have they?
Not at all. In fact, the entire offense just looking a little bit out of sync in this one.
Yeah, sometimes this is why coaches like 4-down defensive linemen. They feel like they can cover more ground when defending the run.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Kaiser now underneath for Johnson. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now, and he's accounted for all 9 of their points thus far.
And he's definitely keeping them afloat. But we say it so often, field goals are not going to win you games in the National Football League. They've got to find ways to start capitalizing when they get down near the red zone.
It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The play clock's running down. Here's Locke. Throw left side complete. It's Doyle. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12. Oh, another one. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Well, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Back now here on EA Sports. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Kaiser now to throw on first down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he's got Rome. Oh, no, he lost the football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, here's Locke. Able to power through. To the right side to Aiken. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 20 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Time running out here on the play clock. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation. And taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And Aiken with it over the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're getting.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Danny Shelton coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, there in the fourth quarter. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Deshaun Watson, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. And the Browns getting set to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Kaiser to throw it. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, Kaiser. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins. And it's second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On 3rd and 1, here's Kaiser. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Kaiser on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing again is Kaiser on 2nd and 10. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Al Woods able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
And this one is right down Broadway. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now a play fake here on first down. Left side here to Sanders. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The number 1 overall pick, Myles Garrett, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. He's going to float this one. Deep right. It's caught at the 10. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
Meanwhile, in Foxborough, they're in the 4th quarter. And what about the Texans, folks, leading that game to this point? Deshaun Watson hovering around 300 yards passing and a couple of touchdown throws as well. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. A 2nd down throw now for Kaiser. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on for the 5th time here today. that time. 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Colts send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He juked him. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. A big kick that time, 52 yards. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They'll run it now with Turbin. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now it's Luck. And some room to roam now. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. So Luck down to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Indianapolis, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.